Every morning before sunrise, Daniel slipped on his worn-out sneakers, took his daughter Lily's tiny hand, and began their 6-mile walk to school. The path wasn't easy, cracked sidewalks, chilly winds, and passing cars splashing puddles on them, but Daniel never complained. He carried Lily's pink backpack over his shoulder, humming softly to keep her warm and smiling. He'd lost his wife 2 years ago, and since then, Lily was his entire world. What no one knew was that Daniel couldn't afford a car anymore. His job at a warehouse barely covered rent and food, but he refused to let Lily miss a single day of school. Every step he took was powered by love and quiet determination. One morning, the school principal, Mrs. Anderson, happened to notice Daniel arriving with Lily, both drenched from the rain. Something about his tired smile tugged at her heart. She decided to find out more. That afternoon, she discreetly followed them, first by car, then on foot when Daniel turned down a long stretch of cracked road. As she watched him wipe mud from Lily's shoes before sending her inside their small apartment, Mrs. Anderson's eyes welled with tears. She realized this wasn't just a father's duty, it was devotion in its purest form. That night, she made a phone call that would change Daniel's life forever. The next morning, Daniel woke up early as usual. He didn't notice the car parked quietly at the end of the street. He lifted Lily's backpack, kissed her forehead, and began their daily walk. The air was colder than usual, and his old jacket offered little warmth. But when Lily smiled up at him, he felt invincible. Halfway to school, a familiar voice called out, "Mr. Harris, wait." It was Mrs. Anderson, stepping out of her car. Daniel turned, surprised and embarrassed. "Good morning, ma'am," he said softly, thinking maybe Lily was in trouble. But the principal just smiled kindly. "I followed you yesterday," she said. "I saw how far you walk every day." Daniel's cheeks flushed. "We manage fine," he replied quickly. "I just want her to learn." Mrs. Anderson's eyes softened. "You're doing more than managing. You're inspiring everyone who knows your story." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a set of car keys and a note, "From your school community, thank you for showing us what real love looks like." Daniel was speechless. "I can't accept this," he whispered, but she placed a hand on his shoulder. "You already earned it." As he stood there, overwhelmed, Lily squealed, running around the donated used car parked nearby. It wasn't new, but to Daniel, it was everything, a symbol of hope, gratitude, and kindness returned. For the first time in months, he didn't walk home. He drove, his heart full, his daughter laughing beside him. News of Daniel's story spread across town like wildfire. Local reporters showed up at the school, and soon, people from all over began donating gas cards, food, and clothes for him and Lily. Daniel was overwhelmed by the attention. He wasn't looking for praise, only to give his daughter a better future. One evening, as he sat on the couch watching Lily draw, he thought about how one act of kindness from a stranger had turned their entire world around. It made him realize that sometimes, people just need someone to see their struggle, to care enough to act. But Daniel wasn't done giving back. A week later, he showed up at the school with a box of sandwiches he made himself. "For the kids who forget breakfast," he told Mrs. Anderson. From then on, he started volunteering before work, helping kids cross the street safely, and fixing broken benches in the schoolyard. Mrs. Anderson often smiled as she watched him. This man who once walked miles in silence was now inspiring an entire community through his humility. When a reporter asked him how it felt to be a local hero, Daniel just laughed softly. "I'm no hero," he said. "I'm just a dad who never stopped walking." Months passed, and life began to feel brighter. Daniel had been offered a better job at a delivery company, thanks to someone who saw his story online. The hours were steady, the pay fair, and for the first time, he could save a little. One crisp morning, Daniel pulled up to the school parking lot, not walking, but driving his own truck, bought with honest effort and determination. Lily ran ahead, waving goodbye, her laughter echoing down the hallway. Mrs. Anderson met him outside, smiling proudly. "You've come a long way, Daniel," she said. He nodded, emotion in his eyes. "We both have." As he watched Lily join her friends, he felt an overwhelming gratitude, for the strangers who cared, for the kindness that found them, and for the strength that love had given him when he had nothing else left. That night, as he tucked Lily into bed, she whispered, "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to help people too." Daniel smiled, brushing her hair aside. "That's the best dream you could have, sweetheart." Outside their window, the old walking path stretched quietly beneath the moonlight, a reminder of how far love can take you, one step at a time. Sometimes, the smallest acts of compassion can turn the hardest journeys into miracles. All it takes is one person to care enough to follow.